Welcome to the unintentional Christmas special of the series where we play through our Harry Potter games chapter by chapter. It was unplanned to be scheduled for this week, but this episode features the events around Christmas. However, not all games will be joining us here today. The PC version does feature Christmas in a cutscene, but this is a setup for the events of Chapter 14. The PS1 game makes no reference to Christmas at all, just like it didn't acknowledge Halloween. We've already covered this chapter's events in episode 10, along with the troll on Halloween, which were divorced from the context of both holidays. In the GBA version, there's also no mention of Christmas, but the Halloween decorations here were the best out of any game. Harry goes to defense against the Dark Arts class, and yet again Professor Quirrell teaches Loomis. Loomis lights up dark rooms, but after a while must be cast again as the light eventually goes out. Harry and friends discover that the last assigned potion ingredient, Wigan Tree Bark, is being withheld from the students by Professor Snape, who deliberately failed them. Harry sneaks into Snape's storeroom and finds the bark, but must escape through a secret passage to avoid Snape. Though only narratively, Snape doesn't actually pursue like in episode 9. Harry then leaves the dungeons and sneaks past prefects up to the common room like in the earlier episode, though finds the Mirror of Erised in a room on the 5th floor, which shows his long-gone parents. Professor Dumbledore appears and, though in more eloquent language, says that looking in the mirror is a waste of time. The mirror will be moved, and that if Harry sees it again, he shall be prepared. Harry then tells Ron about the mirror, though in the book this is before Dumbledore told Harry to not return to the mirror. As a result, in the book Harry and Ron then go together a second night, while Harry is alone again on the third night when he meets Dumbledore. In the Game Boy Color version, Harry and Ron wake up on Christmas to open their presents. Peeves appears and steals Harry's, hiding it in Filch's secret storeroom on the 6th floor. Harry is discovered trespassing after recovering his gift, but only loses a single house point due to it being Christmas. Harry returns to Ron, who is faithfully waiting for him the entire time before opening his presents. Harry receives the fruit from Hagrid, which is book accurate, rather than being given it in person earlier for other reasons. Ron receives another maroon sweater, which he dislikes. Harry gets 50 pence from his uncle and aunt. Harry receives chocolate frogs from Hermione, who has gone home over winter break. One of the chocolate frog wizard cards is Dumbledore, where upon reading the description on the back, Harry discovers Dumbledore is friends with Nicholas Flamel, the man Hagrid mentioned last episode. Harry discovers this from the wizard card early in the next chapter in the book, though rather than for Christmas, Neville, who is uninterested in collecting cards, gives his leftover Dumbledore to Harry. Last, Harry receives the invisibility cloak, which we've seen him receive prior to Halloween in the PlayStation game.
Your father left this invisibility cloak in my possession before he died. It is time it was returned to you. Use it well.
Harry tries out using the cloak to sneak around at night, and ends up browsing the library's restricted section. He triggers an alarm, and must escape the alerted adults, though they just stand in one spot and send Harry back to bed if he enters their lanes, and can detect Harry from just as far as they could back on the night of the scheduled duel with Malfoy. I think they can even detect him from farther. On his escape, Harry finds the mirror and Dumbledore just like in the other games. In both Lego Harry Potter games, Harry and Ron go to the restricted section together after Harry opens the present of the cloak. No reason is given why they go to the library, even in the version with dialogue. Filch is guarding the library, and in the mobile version, he can see you from quite a distance, which is why the cloak is needed to sneak past him. In the main version, the cloak is useful to sneak up and aggressively destroy these red books before they aggressively destroy you, but Filch is a harmless old man that you can easily run circles around. If he catches Harry or Ron, whoever can catch a spell on Mrs. Norris, causing Filch to rush to his cat and completely forget about the student out of bed. How the mighty have fallen. Both levels have different gameplay and layouts, but for narrative purposes are the same. Neither Harry nor Ron show any interest in the books, entering the room of the Mirror of Erised. Harry sees his parents, and Ron sees himself as a Quidditch champ before Dumbledore arrives and tells him to leave. The Lego games merge our 3 nights into one. The initial discovery, Harry returning with Ron, and the last night with Dumbledore. That leaves the 2003 version. As usual, Harry and Ron wake up on Christmas morning, and Harry unwraps the invisibility cloak. He uses it to enter the restricted section, seeking a book of recent developments in wizardry. There are many prefects to sneak past, finally reintroducing the stealth gameplay introduced with Percy. Now with the advantage of the cloak, Harry can't be seen from further away. The game makes up for that with a ridiculous number of prefects.
Hey, you!
Filch and Mrs.
Gotcha.
Norris out patrolling by the time Harry makes his final escape with the book. If caught, the game sends Harry back to before entering the room where he was caught. On his way back upstairs, Peeves steals the book and hides it on the 5th floor, where the Mirror of Erised is. Surprisingly, in the novel, Peeves doesn't appear at all, which is novel for Harry sneaking around at night. Harry sees his parents, though in the book the Mirror also showed many more older family members, something which none of these games or the film include as a detail. Dumbledore tells him to stop looking into the mirror, and Harry goes back to his dorm with the book recovered from Peeves. This is the last chapter of the year, both in the story and real life. We will move on to 1992 and 2026, with unlucky chapter 13, which only had a single scene make it into the movie. Most games cut chapter 13 as well, though we will fill the gap in the page-to-screen adaptation some more.